done some batch filming. So you saw me in the same outfit in the last video, but my husband is gone this afternoon, and it was just perfect timing for me to be able to get some recording done. So I am going to today talk about my plans for August. Before we get too far into August, I thought I should let you know what's going on. So let's jump in and get it done. All right, so August has a couple of things going on. I'm still doing the book bingo, summer book bingo for Beautiful Minutia's channel. I am still doing Read Your Bookshelf Challenge for Chantel Reads All Day's channel. And then it is Women in Translation Month, and I have a couple of buddy reads. So let me just jump in and tell you all about them. So the first one, oh shoot, did I leave it over there? I'll just put up a picture because I forgot to bring that one over, is Stendhal. And Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia and I are reading this together. This was a book that was mentioned a few times, or an author, I should say, that was mentioned a few times when we were reading Borges, and also when we read Machado de Assis' posthumous memoirs of Bras Cubas. So Stendhal was mentioned in both of those books, and so we thought we would go ahead and read some Stendhal. And we both found The Red and the Black, and so that is the book that we will be reading together this month. I actually started it this morning, and so far so good. I'm only 3 chapters in. Okay, so I was supposed to be reading the Aeneid with Jack from Spreadbook Joy this month, but I think once again we are going to push it because Jack is not ready to be doing a buddy read right now. And so hopefully before the end of the year, I'm going to say September. If she's not ready for it by then I may just do it by myself, because I really want to get this reread this year. And so yes, I will hopefully be doing that next month. Then I have 3 books by an author that everything I've read so far by her I have liked. And so I just keep buying books when I find them of this author. And I have 3 that I would like to read. The first one was also on my classics list at the beginning of the year of the classics that I would like to read this year. And that is The Tin Flute by Gabrielle Roy. I know that is not how you say her last name, but I am not French. I can't speak French very well. Gabrielle Roy, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. So, The Tin Flute. I think this is a book about soldiers who return from war, and I'm not sure of anything else about it. This, I think, is her most well-known work. And so I'm looking forward to reading it. I was hoping somebody would want to maybe buddy read it with me, but I didn't get any takers on that. So if you're out there and you want to buddy read this with me, let me know. Then also by Gabrielle Roy, I have Children of My Heart, and I have Street of Riches. These are all originally written in French. Let's see if I can find a translator. This one is translated from the French by Harry Bintz, or Bince, maybe. So that's Street of Riches. This one is translated by Alan Brown. That's Children of My Heart. And the Tin Flute is translated by Hannah Josephson. So all three of these would be for Women in Translation Month. I also have 4 others that I could read for Women in Translation. This one I have already read. This is one of the 2 books that I have finished so far this month. This is Gourmet Rhapsody. This is Muriel Barbery, and it is translated from the French also by Allison Anderson. And I'll tell you more about it when I wrap it up. But I read this because Muriel Barbery is the author of The Elegance of the Hedgehog, which is one of my very favorite books. I really like it. And I'll just tell you, I did not enjoy this one as much. But this was also for Women in Translation. And then another one that, let me see who the translator is. I picked this up from, I think, a little free library as a result of Sophie from Redhead Reads talking about this book. And I saw it in the little free library and I thought, okay, I'm just going to grab it because she thought it was wonderful. It's a little teeny tiny book. I picked it up for Women in Translation, but if I don't get to it, it's also small enough that I could read it in September for Shorty September. So this one, though, is translated by James Reardon, and this is Jamila by Chingiz Aitmatov. And from what I understand, it is about a young newlywed wife whose husband immediately goes off to war, and she is having to try to fit in and make a life in his village, and just kind of the way that goes. Then I also have a novel by an author I absolutely loved last year. I read Abigail by Magda Szabo last year, and it was one of my very favorite books of the year. And so I picked up Issas Ballad, and this is another one that is on my classics to read this year. And so I would really like to get to it. It's translated by George Zirtis, and I think it's probably Hungarian, translated from the Hungarian by George Zirtis. Magda Szabo's Issas Ballad. Issas Ballad, I want to say, is about a mother and daughter who end up later in life having to live together, and just kind of what that means for both of them in their independence and that kind of thing. I'm not positive, but I think that's what it is. And then lastly, for Women in Translation, I have Isabel Allende's Zorro. I love the story of Zorro, but I know exactly what her take on it is going to be. It's translated from the Spanish by Margaret Sayers Peden. I assume maybe that it's going to be told from her perspective rather than Zorro's. But I could be wrong. I have no idea. But this also was free. I think I picked it up at a little free library. And have I read Isabel Allende? I probably have, but I'm not positive about that. Those are the women in translation. Okay, come here, lay down, lay down, lay down. Oh, okay, it's all right. Want to lay down? Yeah, there. It's okay. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. I started a reread last month of John Steinbeck's East of Eden. It had been a long time since I had reread this. And this was only my second time reading it. And I wanted to see if it would still be a favorite. And this is a novel that is hard to forget. At least it was for me. And so I remembered things very, very well. And I found it just as difficult and just as beautiful. This was the other book that I've already finished this month. Just barely finished it. So East of Eden by John Steinbeck. And then I will do a better wrap-up of this for what I've read so far in August. And then lastly, another book. Is that the last one? No, I have two others. Okay, so this one, A Separate Piece, is another one that I have not reread in a very, very, very long time. It wasn't really on my plans to read it, but when I saw it sitting on my shelf, I thought this one is another one similar to East of Eden that I remember pretty vividly, even though it's been a very long time. And I would like to find out if it is what I remember it being. So another one that I would like to read this month. All of these are possibilities. Remember that. One other one that I would like to maybe read for women in translation, again, if I can get my hands on it, is Stephanie McCarter's translation of Ovid, Metamorphoses. And I have not been able to get my hands on it yet. I really want to, because I would love to read a woman slanted translation of what Ovid wrote. I would really love that. And so if I can find it, if I can get my hands on it, I will try to do that. Another one is Hinds' Feet on High Places, is a read-along that Krista from Books and Jams is doing this month. And I reread Hinds' Feet on High Places pretty regularly. It's one of my all-time favorite books. It's got a real nostalgia for me. It's a very sweet, nostalgic kind of book for me. And so I would love to reread it and do a read-along with them. We will see kind of if it fits in well enough with what my mood is and what I am reading. And then lastly, well, it's probably not lastly. I've got several things on hold at the library that I have been on hold for a very long time. They just aren't coming in very quickly, and my library doesn't have very many copies. And so if some of those come in, then those will be piled on to the TBR as well. It's a traveling book that we are doing with Tiffany's Patreon. And the book is How Do You Live? By Genzaburo. I'll put up a picture. Also one of my very favorite books from last year that I read. And so it will be a reread for me, but we wanted to do a kind of a traveling book where we each take notes in a different color of pen, and then we send it on to the next person. So I'm really looking forward to rereading it, but I won't reread it until it gets to me, and I don't know if it'll be this month or not. So there you have it. If there are any of these books that you would like to read with me, let me know. Of course, I've already finished East of Eden, and I've already finished Gourmet Rhapsody, so those ones are, never mind those either. But any of the others that you would like to read with me, I would love to know. And is there any one of these that you're excited to hear about from me? And yeah, are you taking part in Women in Translation Month? And are you taking part in the summer book bingo? Have you gotten any bingos yet? All of those kinds of things I would love to know. So I will see you again in another video very soon. So like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. Bye everyone.